prophecies, God has spoken to us by His Son.
Yeah.
Okay. Is God no longer speaking to us by His Son?
No, He's still speaking.
Yeah.
If He's still speaking to us by His Son, then doesn't that mean we're still in the last days?
Mm-hmm.
No? Is He speaking to us by somebody else now? Has He ceased talking to us by His Son?
No.
So where are we at?
We're still in the last days.
We're still in the last days.
Right.
What was God's eternal purpose? For man to dwell in an earth where there was no death, in the earth or anywhere in their body,
Right.
and He could spend all His days loving them. That was God's eternal purpose from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would be the restitution of all things? For everything to be redeemed back to that.
Sure.
For that to manifest.
Yeah.
So, when will be the restitution of all things? When the law passed away? How could that be the restitution of all things? Because the law isn't what was killing us.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how you can get around that.
Well, it's because the foundation you build on. That's what I'm talking about. I think that's one of the reasons why God has me, over the years, talked so much about what is actually the law of God.
Mm-hmm.
What does the commandment of God really mean? What does the law of God actually mean? What is it actually talking about? Because there's a difference between the works of the law and the actual law of God. Because if you think the law is what the problem was for man, then you're going to build your understanding on that foundation. And that's when you're going to get the whole thing messed up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It says the law was a shadow of what? Bad things?
No.
It says it was a shadow of good things to come.
Right.
Well, is a shadow different than the substance? Or is a shadow the same thing as the substance, but that you can't really see what the substance is because it's a shadow?
The latter.
It's like we want to act like the law isn't the shadow. Jesus is the substance. The law is a shadow.
Right.
So they're one and the same in actuality. Right? Now, if you want to look on the shadow and look at it through the carnal mind, then the carnal mind will kill you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, that's why, and I think, I can't remember which message Bertie said this, but I know I've said it a bunch of times too. Paul said it this way, and it confounds everybody that thinks the whole thing is about law, grace, law, grace, law, grace. That doesn't mean we're under the works of the law. But grace is actually the revelation of what the law of God always was. And law just means teaching and instruction. See, we have a disconnect. We hear the word law, and we're like, oh. We hear the word commandment, we're like, ah. You know? But Paul said it this way. What did he say? He said, do we make void the law through the preaching of faith? And then he says something profound. He says, nay, we establish it. You know what he's saying there? What he's saying there is the teaching and instruction of God has always been the faith. And we're come declaring that now. So we're actually establishing the spirit of what the law always was talking about. Always. This is what it was always talking about. Always. Always.
The Spirit.
But there is something